Wait, no shot. This is true. Oh, I read this earlier. If these leaks are true, holy yikes, fam. You're looking at me a dumbass meme. There were leaks, two things. One was that Andrew and Tristan apparently were literally planning on fleeing to Dubai and never going back to Romania. And the second one was that apparently from jail, this seems so crazy, but apparently Andrew and Tristan were trying to get people to come forward and fake like missing them, like, oh, I'm not a victim, and oh, I'm so sad that he's gone, and then to intimidate the family of one of the witnesses apparently. I don't know if there's a video form of that, or I read that I think I read that this morning. It was a Romanian site, but see if they need any information, but also make it clear that if we win on Wednesday, I'll go straight to Dubai and I won't be able to make it on Friday. If I owe them any money, I'll pay with a deposit or something like that. From the motivation, it appears that Andrew and Tristan Tate have put together a strategy to come out clean. For several girls were tasked with playing a role to show that they were not victims, that the two brothers were wronged. Let's pretend we're in pain. Let's tell the judicial authorities that we love the boys and we've been misled and we don't like this situation. If we're wearing sunglasses, maybe we'll be able to shed a couple of tears, congratulating each other on how good actresses they are, and the Oscar goes to, I don't know why sunglasses would help. In one of the intercepts, Andrew Tate tells a relative to contact the family of a victim. In this way, he tries to intimidate her, threatening to sue her for perjury. Another time, he confesses in a message that he wants to sue another victim for $200 million, also with the aim of her withdrawing her complaint. If you send them a letter saying they're being sued for $25 million for false accusations, they might retract their statement. You can talk to her on the phone and say, I'm a lawyer. You and your family will be sued for $25 million. Yeah. Don't corner them. I want this by tomorrow. Sue them. If this is true, now this is only being reported on the site, but like if it's true, it's a pretty big yikes, fam. Pretty big yikes, fam-a-lam. I wonder what these leaks are from. Was this like a phone call or a text or what? I'm curious. Wait, no shot. This is true. Chic. Where the f is... Wait. Clip of PBD talking to Tate lawyer.
Just a couple weeks ago, a tweet came out. Oh my God, they're going to be free today. Oh, this thing's every day someone's saying they're going to be free today. They're going to be free today. With where you are today, what is your level of optimism of how this thing's going to end?
I have a great deal of optimism in where this will end as far as what's currently being investigated. Because again, there have been, what's really important in all this time that's passed, there has been no new evidence, no new alleged victims, nothing new to support this case. And clearly at this point, the evidence has not been strong enough for them to file charges against the brothers. So I think they're going to push this preventative arrest, because they can for now while they're looking for evidence. But everything I've seen, I think it is not going to be hard to disprove all of these allegations. So I'm very optimistic in the ultimate result of this case. Obviously, it's not as soon as we would like. Each day they're in custody, we
keep in mind also, like this lady is a nobody. Tina Glandian or Glandlin or whatever the fuck, she's nobody. She's a lawyer in the United States, but she's not a lawyer in Romania. She doesn't have access to anything special. She's basically a civilian for all intents and purposes. I don't know why she thinks she's qualified to speak on anything or what the fuck, but she basically is PR for the Tates right now in the United States. She's public relations.
Just because they should be home. But the only other thing I want to add is that, you hear human trafficking, and that sounds awful, but this is just not a case of human trafficking. And again, without getting into the evidence, obviously it's difficult to explain really what I mean, but this, to emphasize, the webcam business is a legitimate business in Romania. many women have come forward. There's articles you can read about why this is such a thriving business there. And this gives women there a means of making a lot more income. Some of the time women don't have the means or the education to make the kind of money that they could get from an industry like this. And, they're standard like any other job. They have set hours. They take royalties. They pay commissions to the business that they're dealing with. So this is not something unusual in Romania. It really is a legitimate, thriving business. And they are trying to take this legitimate business and criminalize it in this particular scenario, and I think it's going to ultimately fail.
Well, that's a playbook. That's the playbook is, hey, if we just this question on what you just said, right? The curiosity. So if it wasn't illegitimate and it wasn't a crime to go to jail, can the government suddenly create a law and get it passed to be in, then to get someone where you're convicting them of a crime because the laws have changed today? Because that's what Giuliani did with the mob, and all of a sudden 240-something people went to jail on the same day. Can they do that, or that's not something they can do?
Typically, you can't.
Is that actually true? I thought mob shit was like big RICO case and whatnot. Did they preempt or did they retroactively imprison people for making something illegal? I just don't know the history with what he's referring to for Giuliani. And
you could enact legislation, but it's on a moving forward basis. There's no in a criminal context, there typically is no retroactive application. So if something had, predated when the law changes, then you can't go back and say something you did, because for a criminal charge you need to have notice that the behavior is deemed to be criminal conduct.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the
you set yourself up heavily to look very silly if Andrew is cleared of all alleged charges. What would your response be if that happened? Currently, you've invested everything that he is guilty. Just saying. I'm sorry, but you're actually a perma-man. You're just so retarded. I have qualified everything I've said so carefully around the Tate shit that if what he said is true, if this leak is true, if this is actually true, if that's true, I've said it 50 million times. If you can't hear it, it's because you right now are praying 5 times a day towards Mecca, that when you drop to your knees, Andrew Tate could be thrusting his giant dick down your throat and feeding you load after load after load, because the only thing you could possibly think of day in and day out is how wonderful it would be to have a stomach full of the Tate brothers. Okay? I've overqualified the everything. The fact, like, I wonder if you said that to the Tate people who are out here saying, like, oh no, I'm 100%, I'm friends with him, I know, because I've seen him one time, he would never do that, he would never do that. Oh. They don't charge him because they didn't find enough, then they didn't find enough. Personally, I think that he has sex trafficked, assuming everything he says in his videos is true, but hey, there's a slim chance that maybe he's playing a character, maybe he's memeing it up or whatever. It's possible, but he's laid it out enough in his videos that he is a sex trafficker. Everything he said is sex trafficking. Now, it might be the case that they can't find evidence for it, or it might be the case that he was just lying. In that case, then you don't charge him, then whatever. I've said multiple times the system should do what the system does. Let it play out. If they can't find the evidence, then they don't charge him, he walks free. That's how the system works. That's how it should work.
No, race mixing was illegal up until 2000. Race mixing was illegal up until 2002.
2002? What?
You're going to give up 50,000 years of evolution if you mix up with this dude.
Are you filming us?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But
just look awkwardly.
No, you realize that race mix, it's going to give up 50,000 years of your evolution, right? There's 2 billion of those people being born because of.
Did you know that it's actually better evolutionary to like?
No, it's not.
I'm not going to talk science.
No, it's not.
I'm a scientist.
No, it's not.
Actually, I'm a scientist, and I'm not going to talk about this.
Literally.
I'm a scientist too, guys.
If you literally, you're just throwing down your genetic line.
For sure.
Pretty much, you're just LARPing. You're LARPing as a European in America. If you had any actual like heart and integrity,
Hey, homie, are you
then
done?
you'd
Sorry,
go back
I'm
to
not
Africa.
interested.
Are you done?
What are you, a Jew?
Are you done?
Are you Jewish?
No, fuck no, man. Are you
So-
done?
No, but I'm saying
Why would you say it like that?
the truth.
No, hold on.
Actually,
Hold on. I know.
though,
But
like
are you
I
done?
am a scientist and
Yeah.
you
Stop
are
that.
wrong.
Stop. He's
So you
Hey, it's done now. It's done.
so you think
You stop that. Stop
No,
that.
you-
Homie, stop.
you think hybrid vigor is a thing?
Bro, film me, bro. Film me. Film me. Just stop. Stop that shit.
What are you?
Alright?
What are
It's
you?
done.
What are you? Some
It's done, bro.
SJW warrior?
Dude, I don't give a fuck.
Hey,
It's done.
white people are only only
done.
7% of the world's population.
Hey, that's
if
me.
if
Hey, and I'm part of that.
and if
I'm
we-
part of that. And it's done now.
And if we
whatever you're
if we
doing,
inter-
it's done.
If we intermix, we're gonna become. We're
Who
becoming.
gives a fuck, dude?
I give a fuck because
Why?
we're the only creators of society.
No, we're not.
Net,
no, we ain't.
Net migration only flows into white country. It doesn't flow into.
Just stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
He's
Stop.
stupid.
Hey,
Walk across
He's
the-
stupid.
Hey,
so he's not
okay,
like
name me one black country that you would. Name me one black country that you would want to move to.
Name me one.
Yes, name me one black country that you would move to.
guy right here. Just go.
Name me one. Name me one black or brown country that you would move to. Everybody moves into white countries. Everyone moves into white countries for a reason. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because you don't have a retort.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this. Apparently, a bunch of conservatives, or some conservatives online, are mad that other conservatives won't debate Fuentes, I guess. I find it curious that many conservatives will gladly platform and debate LGBT, pro-abortion, or communist activists, but will refuse to even engage with the likes of Nick Fuentes because his views are too extreme or unacceptable. Personally, I find leftists who are actively transing and grooming kids way more unacceptable and extreme than Nick Fuentes. Okay, hold on.
Ass house. Now we talking about relationship goals. Bitch, bank goals. Bank account goals. I'm moving my whole family on a block like this. Just so they can hate each other in the same neighborhood. Niggas, man. Niggas.
Niggas be trifling.
Oh, we've watched this before.
Ass house.
That's me and ABBA rolling around the neighborhood, guys. Rolling up to DGG.